Hello everybody and welcome back to 5-9 Gaming. We are live with episode 39 of the Dokkan podcast Gohantroversy. So yeah, you might notice Toon Rami is not here this week. He is unavailable to host, and so I am taking over the duties for the first time, so please be gentle with me. But we have a star-studded lineup of guests for you here today this week. So first off, we have the man himself, the LR King, the best Fall Guys player on all of Twitch. We have Truth himself.
I won, sir. So yeah, I'm good.
I know, that's what I said, you're the best.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
And we have, of course, the homie himself, Mr. Verified, Goresh.
Hello, hello.
We have the free-to-play king from Down Under, Jay Fanta.
Yo, what's up?
And we have Dokkan's Yellow Flash, Minato.
Yo, yo.
Okay, so kicking things off with episode 39, of course, titled Gohantroversy, because the details released for Int EZA Gohan's, the details for Int Gohan's EZA, and the reception has been somewhat interesting. So, Truth, what do you think about the kit for our boy?
I mean, from what I've seen, I think he's fine, right? I mean, there's a lot of whiny babies going crazy, but it's like he's not even out in game yet. Like I'm gonna relax until the unit is actually out, and then we'll take a good look at him. It's like, could he have been better? Probably, yeah. Like they definitely could have given him more damage, but I think he's gonna be fine. I think some of the insanity, like LR Shadow Dragon Army, is better. No, I don't think the LR Tech Super Saiyan 2 version is better either, but we'll see all this when he actually comes out, which is still not for multiple days even from right now, so.
So, Minato, I'm sure I've seen you defending him a little bit on Twitter. What is your take on his upgrade?
I think they gave him exactly what he needed, honestly. Like, in the end, all he really needed to become a really good unit again was defense, which they definitely gave him more than enough, I feel like. Could they give him a little more? Sure. But, he's a bunch of teams. A lot of people have him now. He's an old unit. A lot of people probably even have him rainbowed at this point. So it's like, just... You can even think of it like, as a gift to the community in a sense, this EZA. I'm not sure why people are necessarily upset about it. He's still a very good unit, and even though he's not like the best thing ever from where we're looking at it, like Truth said, he's not even in game yet, so people haven't really actually used him in game. So I would really wait until we say for sure what it is, but I still think he's a really good and fun unit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've talked about it a lot of times in the past. Like, the main purpose of an EZA is to take a unit who was not necessarily usable in the current meta and bring them back to the forefront. So it's not like an EZA has to then make that unit the best unit in the game. And like you said, they kind of fixed the major issue that he had. So Jay Fanner, the free-to-play, I'm sure very familiar with LR Gohan. How many copies of him have you barbered?
Like 2. I'd say 2. 2 is a solid number. Yeah.
Well, there you go. And Goresh, just to get your thoughts on this, are you excited for his eventual making his way to global?
Yeah, I think the thing that people are like comparing Gohan to like Broly, and that's I think why a lot of people are underwhelmed by the EZA. The one thing I will say though is that Broly before his EZA even like still did really good damage. Like, when you take a look at his base kit before EZAing, there are not many more overpowered things in this game when you compare them to double supers, like guaranteed double supers. It's like one of the most overpowered things in this game. And the fact that you have an LR EZA that does that, like, that's instantly going to make him better than like every other unit almost, just by default. So the Gohan, I think he did get what he needed, which was defense. I think they could have added maybe a little bit more offense to his package, like maybe just increase the 18% to like 21% or something like that. That would have been probably good enough there, but I don't think the Gohan's bad at all. I think he's solid.
Yeah, definitely seems like solid overall, like you said. They gave him a bit of what he needed, so yeah, I guess the final thought on that would be for, as Truth was saying, people to wait and see once we've actually seen him in game on a bunch of different teams. And I guess we'll be able to talk more about him on next week's episode. So one of the big news pieces of the week is, of course, we got the V-Jump scans showing off the well, I say hints, but the Tanabata details. We got the scan for the Frieza undead army from Fusion Reborn. Just to give a shout out, we do have a fan-made card tweet up. Make sure you go check that out, fill out the form, and your entries might be featured in the fan-made cards video. So I think, Goresh, did you tweet out it's farmable from a story event?
Yeah, that Frieza's from a story event. So he's not summonable, he's free.
So he's Frieza. Yeah, see, exactly. Exciting, right? So
yeah, and then there's something else to note as well is that the SSR is just Frieza final form, right? So
okay. So yeah, then he awakens into. Do we know what the actual awakened name is for the final form?
Yeah, I mean it's just like Frieza final form parentheses like undead army or whatever. Right?
It is undead army, yeah. Okay. And so of course that means something that we've been speculating for a while, but with that being of course a major tie-in to Fusion Reborn, that seems very likely that the Tanabata unit is going to be an LR Gogeta. So Truth, you've been talking about this for quite a while. Is this going to be the Gogeta version of the STR Vegito?
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna make him like. So one of the really good things about that STR Vegito is the crazy link set, right? It makes it just so easy and free to run that unit like everywhere. I think they're gonna just do the same thing with this Gogeta, and then I think they're just gonna slap him as leader of movie heroes, and then all of a sudden movie heroes with just this unit is gonna go from, having a bunch of gimmicky pieces to like a dominant team. Because like you look at that Goku and Piccolo, if all of a sudden, like right now, you want to run them with Piccon, right? But like, you have Blue Gogeta as a leader who doesn't work good with either of those units, and Blue Gogeta's okay only until he transforms, where he gets good still. But now, if you have a rotation of Piccon, Goku and Piccolo, and then the fusing Goku and Vegeta, which is then activating Piccon's unit super attack too, like movie heroes is quickly going to get really crazy. And then everyone is going to be running it on the friends list. That STR Vegito, to me, actually seems like the #1 most common leader on the friends list is STR Vegito. You still have your AGL Gohans and stuff like that, but STR Vegito is #1. So now they're going to really make movie heroes like that premium team, and they're just getting it ready for the movie next year, right? I think they just want the movies like categories to just be crazy when they drop UI Gogeta from the movie next year or whatever, right?
Yeah, so movie heroes he thinks seems like a good shout for part of his leader skill. Do you think he'll introduce a new category at all?
I would say so, because my expectation is that this is going to be almost exactly like the STR Vegito, and he did introduce a new category, so I think this one will as well.
Okay, and so what are we thinking?
No idea what it could be, though.
Yeah, it could be anything at this point with some of the categories that we've been seeing. So do we think he is essentially going to work in the same sort of fashion? So it's going to be Goku and Vegeta. I guess now with the same name update, they don't need to be as particular about how they name the pairings of like the Goku and Vegeta.
Well, it's just going to be Goku Angel and Vegeta Angel base.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
And then, of course, I'm assuming then, I guess, I mean, of course, all of this is just speculation, but once they transform into Gogeta, since we saw with the STR Vegito, we had the typical Vegito-esque attributes, like the counters, I imagine will have some sort of super effective against all types or something like that. So that is going to be coming up for the Tanabata banner. Any thoughts on a potential side banner unit? Minato, any ideas if we're looking at Fusion Reborn again?
I'm thinking maybe it could be either like a new Angel Goku. I feel like it feels like it's been a while since we got one of those. I don't think it'll be necessarily Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku, but maybe even a Super Saiyan 2 one or something like that. I don't know. There's not too much like they could really get from that movie now, because they already did the Piccon Jinamba events, back all the way in December, January area. So there's not too many characters. Maybe like a new Gohan from the movie, something like that. There's not really too much I feel they could really do.
I think Gotenks, because there's not a Gotenks on Movie Heroes right now, right?
Yeah, actually that could work well.
King Yama.
It's the demon boy that turns into Janemba. That's it.
I mean, hey, he's not represented in the game yet, so I guess you never know. So we still don't have a Goten and Trunks that fuse into Gotenks either, do we? We only have like the super attack of the AGL LR, not an actual fusing unit. But I don't know if that's something they would just give us as like a side banner unit. I feel like that's probably more of a future Dokkan Fest or even LR kind of thing. But one thing that we didn't actually note down, so because we're looking at Fusion Reborn, obviously big celebrations often feature the big ticket EZAs. Do you think with this celebration being Fusion Reborn, we could get the final 120 lead EZA and get Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku?
Definitely lines up, right? I mean, he's from the movie,
Yeah.
so.
I would agree, because there's maybe some like speculation that could have been an LR, but we just are getting the Gohan right now, so I don't know if they would have another one so soon. But we'll see.
So that is, of course, from the V-Jump scan that is coming soon. So there's only so much we know, speculation really at this point. But what we do know, of course, the latest units to release on JP, we have the LR Goku and Piccolo from the Garlic Jr., finishing off, I guess, the set of the theme for this current celebration with the Gohan and the side banner unit Garlic Jr. So Truth, I know you've obviously managed to rainbow them now. I'm assuming that by this point you've tried them out in a bunch of different events. So what are your thoughts now on seeing these guys all across the game?
So I think pretty much what you're going to see a lot of times is that they're almost outright bad their first turn, but then after that they're going to be really, really good. They're a unit, so like look at some of these recent supports, right? Like Tech Krillin, Trunks and Goten, Gohan and Goten, Garlic Jr., right? If we get one of those that works with this Goku and Piccolo, it's going to help them a lot. But currently, they like they don't have one of these busted supports you could run in any difficult event and they dominate, right? Like that AGL Trunks and Goten, like they're untouchable and godly everywhere, right? Like we just need like another unit like that to help this Goku and Piccolo out maybe on like turn 1. But if you go into any event where you can get to their active skill or fully build up that passive, and they're crazy. They're definitely wonky, and it's like they've done like Tapion and Minosha, 17 and Golden Frieza, Goku and Piccolo, they all have similarities. You could say like Blue Cow and Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, like they do these join forces sort of like wonky LRs, but I think Goku and Piccolo is the best of all of those. It's because it's like the first turn, all they have is shocking speed. So the first turn, all you have to work with them is shocking speed. That's it. Like you don't have any key until they start attacking, and only the 2 key from their passive. That's not good enough. I think they also should have had prepare for battle, and they also should have been a rainbow orb changer.
You in the rainbow orb changer.
Yeah, we need
Or
as
3
many
key
of
to
them
all
as
allies,
possible.
huh?
Yeah, all units should have that. Why not? So, Minato, did you summon for these guys?
I did about a multi. Unfortunately, I didn't get them, and I'm not really going to go further because Tanabata's coming up. I think they're a fine unit. I wouldn't... They're more so of definitely a longer event unit, of course. Like in the first turn, Super Battle Road, they could probably get crushed a little. At the very least, they lower attack. But like Truth said, once you start building up their key from their passive, the additional up to 59% attack and defense, especially when you get their active skill off, they become real monsters.
Yeah, definitely seem very interesting. Obviously, as a global player, I've just had to sit on the sidelines and watch the videos, but they definitely seem like a fun and interesting unit. Jay, you're not a global player, but of course, summoning not up your street. So after talking about all of these LRs and potential future coming LRs, we do have something on the agenda for you. So of course, the Piccolo that was not in the Namekians category got his awakening, and as of course most people correctly predicted that he did awaken into Piccolo and Krillin. So tell us, what do you think of this free-to-play unit?
I mean, for a free-to-play card, it's actually really good. I think it's definitely what AGL Kid Gohan needed, obviously, in the Heavenly Events category. As a unit, like 300% attack and defense is pretty solid. And of course, you can't Forget about that support. That is huge. And of course, you can run like the SSR version now because they have different names, and get that double support. The only thing I was disappointed is I waited this long. Was it 2 weeks when the event initially came out for a non-EZA unit? I was honestly expecting the EZA unit. Like they make me wait all this time for the awakening. I don't know. It felt like not exciting. But but it's a card definitely needed for the heavenly events category. So very, very good.
Yeah, so definitely recommend everybody to farm these guys up because their support passive seems useful enough that even on like a almost fully pay-to-play version of the Heavenly Events team, they seem like they definitely would be able to hold their own. So
I think the one thing weird about them is they want to be next to that Gohan unit, but they share no links with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they only, it's like of all the like setups and stuff they have, like that, it's only gonna work on that Heavenly Events
team.
category team,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a required unit because then you can get Gohan's unit super attack on that category as well. Because I don't think there's not many Piccolos and Krillins outside of that card.
I mean, there's the Dokkan Fest physical Piccolo, right?
Yeah.
I've used on the Savior and Hybrid Saiyan team, I've been bringing that kid Gohan and getting his unit super with the new LR Goku and Piccolo.
yeah, I guess that is. I was just going to say that is a good. I guess that is one of the good features of these various combo cards. Is obviously they always fulfill those specific character name requirements. So that is a good combo for them.
Yep. Unless it's like they stupidly do it like they did AGL Nail.
Yeah,
where
Nail
you need
doesn't
Piccolo,
work with...
not just character with Piccolo in the name. Stupid.
Yeah, because he was one of the very early units once they'd introduced that, like having specific named characters on.
I think he was the
team
first one,
rotation
actually. I think he was the first unit that had that.
So it'd be interesting to see if they ever revise that in the future, since now pretty much every other unit just has the like name includes rather than is specifically named. So I guess that would be interesting to see if that will happen in the future. Do you think it's possible for them to get an EZA at some point? I guess during this current celebration is probably a no-go since it will be winding down soon.
No, they don't need it. So like you look at a bunch of the recent ones, the Grid Ape Vegeta, GT, Veku, Golden Frieza, and Sorbet. Unlike all those other trash, like this Krillin and Piccolo is good. Like they're solid.
Yeah,
they don't need it.
I do like how they're approaching free-to-play units now. Like how they a support unit for the new category. I think every time they introduce a new category, they should do these kind of cards, like really good cards that support the category that's needed for something, for the Dokkan Fest or something like that.
I agree.
Yeah, because they are the free-to-play leader for the category as well, aren't they? So
not a good one, but yeah.
Well, yeah, the free-to-play version. So I guess that is a good thing because it means they're worth farming up for everybody. Because if you are mostly free-to-play, you can use them as the leader for the team. If you did pull the Gohan or, of course, any future leader that comes out for that category, then they're still worth having because they perform well as a support unit for that team. So yeah, overall, make sure if you haven't done it already, get them farmed up. Definitely a solid unit overall. So moving on to the next topic here, we have the little bit of information that was released about the upcoming update on JP, which is the update 4.18. And it involves new types of super attacks was kind of the main thing. There is a secondary part, which we will get onto momentarily. So Goresh, I know you tweeted out the translations for it. Do you want to give us a little bit of an explanation of the super attack typings, or at least what we know so far?
Yeah, so previous to this update, we'd only had one sort of designation for super attacks, which is the key-based super attack. And I think they introduced that back when the AGL Super 17 came out. because of his Dokkan event, like sort of like nullifying the key-based supers, because that's, you know, what he does in the show, right? So up until this point, that's the only designation for super attacks that we had in the game, and now they're adding 3 new ones. They're adding, okay, so the way I translated it was the melee-based one, and then there's one that's physical, and then there's one that's other. So melee-based, you know, is just going to be like, you know, your Wolf Fang fists and stuff like that. And then I guess the physical one looks like it's going to be weapon-based. So like Tech Gohan, the, you know, sword trunks units, the Janembas, the, you know, any character that uses a weapon. Deborah sometimes uses weapons too. So
Farmer with a
characters that use
shotgun.
weapons. Yeah, farmer with a shotgun, exactly. I guess Mai would count because she uses a gun.
Yeah, I was going to
So-
say characters with guns as well. So yeah, I guess that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Like pasta and stuff like that. So like those characters that use weapons, I think will have physical super attacks. So what's interesting to me about this is that they never really just update stuff about the game and mechanics in the game for no reason. There's always something that they're leading up to with whenever they do stuff like this, like we saw with active skills, transformations, like all this is the same sort of mechanical updates that we've seen in the past that they do before like big celebrations, which we're going up to with Tanabata. The one thing though is they never really do new things for Tanabata, so this might be the first year where we see like a new mechanic come out for Tanabata. And I know it's looking like it's going to be Gogeta, so my theory is that they're going to release the fusing Gogeta, and then maybe he'll have something to do with melee-based super attacks where he's like a guaranteed counter versus those type of super attacks, because if you remember in the movie, Janemba punches him in the face and he doesn't do anything. He just doesn't even flinch. So I think that would be a cool way to sort of introduce that interaction with like the different types of super attacks that exist now. But there's a lot they can do with these. I mean, you can introduce characters that are like, I don't know, like 90% reduced damage received from like, you know, physical super attack, something like that. I don't know. But I like it. I like that they're experimenting with this.
Yeah, it opens up the door for a whole lot of other things, because like you said, we've got the Super 17 Dokkan event, and then it's the Androids Infinite Dragon Ball History that has the first 2 enemies that absorb key-based super attacks. I don't think there's many other instances in the game where that comes into play. But obviously with them expanding on it, then we could see all sorts of things. So what are some other things you think we might see from this? Is it just going to be effects in events? Are we going to get, like you said, units might have specific counters? Maybe will we even see like support units that are specifically for different types of supers? Like what do you guys think
that'd be
we
cool.
might see?
Maybe like, I don't know, they can introduce skill orbs where it's like 20% extra damage dealt with this type of super attack or something. I don't know. Maybe that's too high, but I don't know, something like that.
And yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because I wonder if this will go down the same road as we often discuss with various categories. It'll be interesting to see what super attacks, like specifically, are classed as certain things, because I feel like depending on how rigidly they define the 3 main ones, we could potentially end up with quite a lot of characters that just end up in the other category. So
Yeah, I don't even really know what would fit in other. I guess other that could sort of be like the Supreme Kai, like
magic
like,
attacks.
like magical stuff. I don't know.
And stuff.
Yeah,
Feet.
like
Vegeto's feet.
we got like is it the Int Roshi from the World Tournament does the like sleepy time?
Yeah, or like the
technique thing?
Mafuba probably would be other, right?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be interesting. It's funny because obviously we have the super attacks now with the only classification being that it's either key based or not key based. It means we have the characters where as long as they punch you once first, they can then do the biggest key blast attack you've ever seen, and it doesn't count as a key blast super attack. So it'll be interesting to see whether they change that at all, because then you'd have a unit that punches you once and then does a huge key attack, and then it's going to be listed as like a melee super attack. So it'd be interesting to see if they do like redo any of the ones that currently aren't classified as key based but then could potentially be. And I guess with a big update like this where they are specifying these particular categories, I assume we're probably going to get those ones, and then they're not just going to add another one in the future, because then I guess anyone that was I guess that would give them the chance to move characters that were stuck in other into a different one. But I feel like at least with the names, like you said, that you translated for those ones, there's probably not a lot of scope for other categorizations, I suppose.
Yeah, because again, I think other is going to be relatively small anyway. So
yeah, I guess it all depends how they decide to define it. So yeah, something interesting. Like you said, we don't always get new mechanics for a celebration like this. So obviously, it'll be very interesting to see what they are going to do with this. But the other part of the update 4.18 info that we got, not a huge amount. It was like one line in the translations that I saw, but that was the ability to skip active skills is going to be added into the game. So I've seen a lot of discourse about this already. I guess we can go round one by one, but what are each of your opinions on this feature being added into the game?
I think it's basically just the equivalent of being able to skip support memories. Or I think it's no different than that.
I think it's it's okay addition. It's not really anything like, obviously too great. I think it's okay, to have it at the very least, save some time, I guess, if you're trying to speedrun something, but it doesn't really matter that much, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, to be honest. Just a quality of life little thing.
Truth, what do you think?
About the super attack things?
Skipping the active skills, yeah.
Oh, that's pointless. Dude, summon animation skipping. That's what we need. Give me the opportunity to skip summon animations. Oh my god. All right, Chaozu and Fat Boo, here we go. So good.
And then you'll skip and get the new unit, right?
So good.
Yeah, but like,
I don't
care
about
you're like,
forced
whoa.
to sit through hell, dude.
The fake out hype is so cool though.
Well, we've got to give a shout out to our boy Tiger. Somebody mentioned it in the chat. Skipping active skills would definitely help you to win races. That is definitely true. So, I mean, yeah, for me, it seems like I don't know if I would use it that often, but like Minato was saying, I guess it's kind of one of those things. It's a quality of life upgrade for the people who would want to use it. It seems like a strange place to start because summon animation skipping is something that people have talked about for quite a while, but this isn't really something I can personally say that I've seen people asking for. I guess this could potentially open the door in the future to skipping things like actual super attack animations or transformations that aren't active skills. Because someone did point out one of the units like in Ribrianne, when you're going through like Peppy Gal Super Battle Road or something, who both of them transform straight away every single time, is something that you might want to skip. But for active skills, I don't know what each of you guys think about this in particular, but like I know one of the complaints that people often have when units don't have particularly good active skill conditions is the people get mad about that because the whole point is that we want to see them. So it seems odd for one of the first sort of skipping features for them to add is to skip those.
Imagine you finally get Imp Broly's active skill, then accidentally skip it.
AGL Gohan.
People who skip the animations are discrediting the developers' time and effort for animating It is so rude.
But all this time and effort into making this animation.
I mean, I could see an argument for like Tech Gohan, right? Nobody wants to sit through that for the 200th time in a row. But for like AGL Gohan, like I'm not skipping that, right? Nobody's skipping that.
That was the one example.
First.
Yeah, that was the one example that I saw the most of people saying, like, imagine if you actually finally got AGL Gohan to transform and you accidentally skipped it. But Tech Gohan is definitely one that I would sort of agree, because obviously his condition is not bad at all. So even on some of the like newer Super Battle Road stages where you can run his team, you're potentially going to be transforming both of them in every single fight. So I could probably understand, like, maybe in the third fight, you probably don't want to watch that for like the 5th and 6th time respectively, but it's certainly interesting. I think at the end of the day, I don't know if you guys would agree. I would assume so. It's nice that they are still adding these kind of updates. You know, it's better to have a slight quality of life update that maybe only a small percentage of the player base really would appreciate, rather than obviously not doing anything at all. So I think it's a good sign that they're still working on things like this. But what do you think? Do you think this? Do you think we are going to get summon skipping? Is this opening the door to that, or are they just firing off in a random direction at this point?
I hope
For
they do.
me, it's like, why wouldn't they have already done it if they were planning on doing it? It's not like it's difficult to do. Like, you just skip the animation. The animation doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. It's just like something that's cool to watch. As soon as you click the summon button, the character's already in your box. Like, the animations don't actually mean anything. So I feel like if they were ever planning on actually adding a skip animation or a skip feature, it probably would have been in the game already. I don't know why they're not putting that in. Zero reason for that.
It'd be so good for friend point summons. If you've ever been low on Zenny and you're just desperate for some Hercules and doing friend point summons. Oh god. Pain.
Yes.
Well, I'm bad at the game, so.
Well, no, I guess one example for that though is, like, I know that it's been a long time actually, so I wonder when they will finally introduce another one. But when when the friend summon LR comes out, obviously you have to get like 24, 25 copies of them. So yeah, it would be quite nice to have a skip animation for that, because I think a lot of people who aren't massive whales, I guess, maybe don't see the particular need for the summon skip. But yeah, it's something that if you're summoning a lot, especially if you're someone who's only going for multiple copies of the new unit and that's the only one you care about, then I think it is possibly one of the only like big mainstream gachas. I don't know which, what everyone would consider the other ones in that same classification to be, but I'm pretty sure it is one of the only ones that doesn't have a summon skip animation. Is that right?
I don't know a game that's a gacha game, at least that I play, that doesn't have a skip animation button.
Does someone know if One Piece Treasure Cruise has a skip summon animation? Because that's a game that predates Dokkan.
So yeah,
Someone
be
said
interesting.
it doesn't have a skip button on summons. One Piece Treasure Cruise doesn't either. Okay. Because again, Dokkan is older than most of the gacha games now, right? Besides shit like Monster Strike and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but if Treasure Cruise doesn't, then it's not surprising. I guess Dokkan still doesn't either.
I don't think it's difficult to add that, because again, the animations don't mean anything.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's why we've seen before, it's happened to some of us, even, that when you go to summon and then the game crashes and you load it back up and all the characters are there. So like you said, it's as soon as you hit that summon button, the game determines what the 10 units are going to be, if it's a multi-summon. I mean, I can see both sides of it, because obviously on the odd occasion you get like the nothing combo of people flying in, but then you do actually get something good. And that's always a nice surprise. I guess it kind of ties into, I've seen mixed opinions on things like, you have Zeno, you have the Goku Black Rift. When you see that you're getting the unit guaranteed. Which some people...
Okay, well, hold on, because I think this is the confusion. You getting a Zeno doesn't mean the Zeno gave you the unit. You getting a Zeno means you have the unit in your box, and then it's triggering the Zeno to appear because you already have the unit.
Yeah.
Right. Technically, that's what that means. If you're thinking about it from like a standpoint of cause and effect.
Oh, no, I'm
Zeno
talking about...
Yeah, I'm just saying to free people in chat that aren't understanding what we're talking about. The Zeno, like the Zeno is not causing the unit to be pulled. Like the unit being pulled that you already have in your box by the point the animation loads is causing the Zeno to appear, right? That's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, it's kind of fun. I guess I could see, like, when you see the Zeno or you see the Goku Black Rift, you're getting the new unit. And then obviously you could then just skip the multi, and you miss out on any potential bonuses, I guess. So I guess it all just comes down to personal preference, whether you would want to skip them or not. It's something that people have been talking about for a while. So with them adding this in, it definitely does put at least the potential on the table for this thing to be a thing in the future. So I guess that is something that we will have to wait and see. So lots and lots of things going on JP. And so we move, of course, to the just as busy and exciting global side of the game, where there is a ton of things going on at the moment.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start.
Well, so we got confirmation today officially on Twitter, Facebook, and there was an announcement in the game about the event, but not about the unit themselves. But we got confirmation that the LR, Tapion and Minosha are going to be releasing on Global. We talked about this in the previous episode. They're doing essentially the same blueprint as they did last year, with them coming out in the same time slot as Nappa and Vegeta released last year. So for those of you guys that have used them already on JP, what are your overall thoughts before we get into the timing of the banner and whether people should summon or not? In terms of just the unit overall, what are your thoughts on Tapion and Minosha?
They can put up good numbers, but again, they're another one of these units where it's the situations just aren't the greatest for them, right? The active skill is good, but you do need another Tapion unit to be used. That's why I certainly hope they put out the AGL Tapion EZA. Because like otherwise on Global, it's like you're using Tapion, but then you have to use one of these shitty Tapions who are not
like
good.
Tech
one. Yeah, the Tech one or the AGL one before his EZA are not exactly good units, right? Like LR Tapion puts up good numbers, but I was really thinking about it, and I think the unit would have benefited much more from just having like an unconditional support type buff, right? Like if it was all allies, 3 key 30% attack and defense, rather than categories with a higher buff, I think the unit would have been better overall. Because then you could rock that. Because like right now, why are you gonna ever rock them on movie heroes? No. Like, do people really run sibling bond that often? Because I feel like when people run that, they're just basically running Goku family, right? Like I don't know.
I think they're good when they're really set up, but again, they really want to be next to another Tapion, and you know, again, if Global doesn't get that EZA, then it's kind of like, I wouldn't say the unit's necessarily dead, but it's a completely different unit with and without that AGL Tapion EZA. You know, as a floater on their own team, they could work very well because they'll be able to get the extra damage reduction, and their active skill is actually pretty solid again, but they're kind of wonky and they don't have key links either, which hurts them a little.
I think the biggest issue with this unit is their category. Because remember, the category is not only in their leader skill, they're supporting specifically this category, this story figure, whatever it's called. That category sucks.
Figures.
So the fact that they're supporting a category that sucks makes them bad. So that's it.
What do we think, Global, about storied figures? Is that a better name for the category than, was it Warriors of Legend? Was
Dude, they were right there. They had a really good thing going for them when the word story. I think storied is a really good way to start it, and then figures sucks. So no, it's like pretty bad.
Well, so like, would you say like Storied Legends or something?
Yeah, Storied Legends is a great name, I think. Storied Legends, something like that. Storied Figures, like, what am I collecting figures here? Like,
Definitely.
I still remember.
It sounds too rigid to me.
I still remember all the Japanese players actually like being confused at what Dokkan was trying to say with the original, right, like kanji or whatever.
Yeah, it's because there's so many of these niche categories that they have to come up with these names that nobody understands. That's how like terrible this is at this point. We keep coming up with these categories that are so like subjective and niche. It's like what is supposed to be included here? Nobody knows.
Yeah, because even looking at the category list, like I think the name does make slightly more sense. Like I'm usually a fan of when they release the global names. Some of them have been a bit wonky, but
you don't like Inhuman Deeds, huh?
Yeah, that's a great one. So yeah, Tapion and Minosha. So we touched on it already. I was going to cover this as like a separate thing, but we've already brought it to the forefront. When it comes to summoning for this unit, there's a lot of big factors. Obviously, this is the last attempt at a bait banner before the anniversary, because the anniversary is only like just over 2 weeks away at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, because they want to incentivize you to summon on this banner so you can obviously drain your stones, so you need to get more for the anniversary. So the big thing that we've mentioned is the AGL Tapion EZA. Do you guys think we will be getting it on global? Because like you said, I mean, I feel like if we don't get it, a huge amount of the incentive to summon for them is removed because, as you guys have mentioned already, if you don't have a Tapion that you can run alongside them that is going to be able to perform well in some of the harder events, like who do you run them with if you don't run them alongside a Tapion?
I think if they want you to summon on this banner, they basically have to release the AGL Tapion, or else, again, the unit feels completely different and they're really, honestly, much worse without that AGL Tapion. I think it would be fine because Vidal's celebration at least still does have those 2 free-to-play EZAs, so, you know, it's not like they're going to be missing out on, like, EZAs entirely there, and it would just be overall better for the LR Tapion's release right now.
So I was playing around with them a bit, and it's like, it does feel like they could work okay. I mean, from a linking perspective, they can work okay on joined forces, right? You've got a lot of units with a lot of those same links, 17 and Golden Frieza and stuff like that, but doing that, you're not really going to get the benefit of their support, because like all those wonky units aren't really on those categories, and you're not going to be able to use their active skill either, is the issue.
They're really going to need to pump out like the MVP Pilaf's trove for this one. They need help. They do.
Did they do anything for Vegeta and Nappa last year?
I believe there was a Pilaf's trove for them. But I don't remember how good it was. I remember that banner specifically being awful, like terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, not a good banner for sure.
Yeah, I think the Pilaf's Trove thing was the one that they've done 2 or 3 times in total now, I think, for a legendary banner. Where it's like a 20 unit multi with, is it 3 SSRs guaranteed? But it's not like guaranteed LR or anything like that, which, I mean, I feel like if they released a Pilaf Trove ticket that was something like that, where it was like guaranteed LR, then people who spend would probably buy that. But outside of that, I feel like a lot of people are, this is the new sales that they bring out with this banner will be a good opportunity for you to top up a couple of extra stones before all the big anniversary sales come out.
Yep.
But yeah, I would be surprised if this banner did incredibly well. It'll be interesting to see if we actually how many like Tapion and Minosha friends we see on the friends list on global for the couple of days afterward, because I would assume on JP you probably don't see many of them. Is that right?
Nah.
No.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because I mean the thing is, if you don't want to summon for them, obviously they do introduce the new category, storied figures. They also have siblings bond as their other leader skill. So I mean, if you are able to see one on the friends list and you have one of the siblings bond leaders, you can obviously just bring them along as a friend to try them out. The general consensus from most people seems to be that this is a skip, which is a little bit of a shame. I've seen some people, a lot of people think this unit is very cool. Like, their animations are awesome, their active skill, the OST, pretty cool. But it's just one of those unfortunate things. They have
one of the, in terms of like aesthetic, their active skill is one of the coolest in the game. Like the OST in combination with like the actual animations and the voice lines, like everything's done so well. It's just like them releasing this unit right now is basically them admitting that they don't care. Like, right? I mean, they know this is not going to sell, but they're just like, okay, whatever.
It's like a very bad timing for them.
Yeah, but they know that like this is what's gonna happen, right? It's not like they're gonna hopefully we hit top gross, and they know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we talked about on a previous episode with the time frame for global. After the anniversary, we're obviously very likely to get Vidal as the next Dokkan Fest, and then pretty much right after that we move into the worldwide celebration, don't we? So there's not a huge amount of time for them to fit them in somewhere else. And I guess the advantage is, if you're somebody who has been saving up all your stones, obviously your primary target is going to be the actual dual Dokkan Fest. But of course, the anniversary does have the later part with the top legendary summon banner, which of course, these guys will be in the pool for that banner once it comes out. So even if you don't summon for them on this banner, if you want to go in during the anniversary LR banner, you obviously are going to have a chance to pick them up. Global, of course, did get the coin update a little bit early, so if you do choose to summon on this banner, you have the opportunity to get some extra yellow coins. But I mean, I don't think even that just in and of itself is probably not any extra incentive to summon on this banner right before the anniversary. So
yeah, if you choose to summon on this banner, you're a damn Dumbo. That's
Funny enough, I just saw a Tapion, a friend of my friends list.
Oh yeah,
you see one of those every third moon.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was gonna say, what percentage are they?
55%.
Let's go. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I think actually I saw it. Was it you tweeted out earlier, Goresh? Even you are not gonna go in particularly hard for these
No,
guys.
I am. This is definitely 100% going to be a one and done. I'm getting one copy, and I am literally hopping on my skateboard and I'm heading out.
That is the Goresh definition of a skip. Just one copy, and then that is it. So, I mean, yeah, for me, it is what my equivalent of a skip, which is I'll probably do 3 or 4 multis maybe for like a short video, and that will be it. So
If I'll make a pledge right now. If I pull them on the Pilaf Strove pack, I'll extend the video by putting a picture of their face on the video and just leave it there and having no music at all. That's it.
Well, there you go. You guys heard it here. So make sure you check out Goresh's summon video when the banner comes out. But yeah, so the only other thing really that was going on Global is we did have the Pan EZA was finally available if you were able to get at least one question mark tile out of the 3 weeks on Monday. Otherwise, you have to wait until this coming Monday.
Let me cut in real fast. Is it still up on Global?
What?
The
What's up on
Pan
Global?
EZA area? Like, is it available right now? Like, if you go to the
believe so,
events,
yeah.
is it?
I think so, yeah.
Because on JP, it's never gone away on JP, right? It's like a lot of people are freaking out about the question mark shit, but like it's like originally they were gonna take it away, but I think they changed and it's not going away. Because on
That's only
JP,
the-
it's never left.
It's only the missions leaving, right? Or did they even leave?
That I don't know. But I
Yeah,
know
I
the
can't-
event doesn't go away because I've been continuing to do it just in case they try any funny business later on with using these medals for something.
Yeah, I think it's just the missions that go away.
Yeah, I'm unable to check because I did manage to get one question mark, so I have EZA'd mine already. So obviously those missions are cleared off. Goresh, what was your luck like with the question mark tiles?
I got the question marks the first 2 weeks, and the last one I didn't. But you only need to get it, I think, once.
Yeah, just once.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're able to get it once, you'll have her EZA now. If you are unlucky and didn't get it a single time, you will have to wait until Monday, and then you will finally be able to do it.
Yeah,
I
she's
did
really
see,
good.
I did see one person in my comments who apparently got the all 3 question marks to, like, I think it was the earliest you could have it done was last week if you got super lucky.
Yeah,
So
I mean, dude, I've done it like 7 or 8 times now. The first time I didn't get the question mark, every single time since I've gotten it. So I
wow.
don't think that the chance is that low.
oh wow, there you go. So yeah, unfortunately, if you're somebody out there who is having to wait until Monday, you just got very unlucky, unfortunately.
Imagine having
So-
to do all 5 runs, and then the last one you get the check mark.
Yeah, that seems like pretty typical Dokkan RNG, to be fair. So Jay, obviously with them being a free-to-play unit, or her, I should say, you've had her EZA'd for a while now, I'm sure, on JP. What are your general thoughts about her overall across the various different events in the game?
She's cool. She's nothing. It's nothing special with the EZA. If I'm gonna be completely honest, like, for getting like 5, 6 rainbowed free-to-play characters and wasting on the Zenny, like, you can live without the EZA. If I'm gonna be completely honest, but
Wow, that's crazy because I completely disagree. I think she's disgusting.
I
Oh,
agree
yeah,
as well.
dude,
I think
she's great.
really,
she's
really good.
She does
lame-o.
so much.
The
Oh my
active skill,
God.
dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but she already has her active skill. That's
well,
you
no,
don't
she
need
also
Has the guaranteed damage
she
reduction,
supers
too.
early. She stuns. She heals.
and then
she
she-
does
she-
everything.
Yeah, she always did that
Yeah.
though.
Well,
Hold
she
on,
gets
hold
the
She has a good
guaranteed
link
now,
set
though, and key.
She's got a good link set too.
The biggest
But
thing
she already
in my
had that. I'm
opinion-
saying like her EZA, like you can live without it for
Well,
a
the
while. Like
the biggest
if you were
thing
new.
the biggest thing that her EZA gave her was more damage, which makes her heal more, which is the most important thing in my opinion. You get way more healing post EZA.
And more key, which makes it more consistently to get
Well,
that.
that's more damage,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Higher chance to stun as well.
Yeah, is it the 18 key, the stun chance went up?
This is the 12 key, but like it's still a medium chance with the. with
I don't care about the
18
stun. I
key.
care about healing
Well,
to full health every time she attacks.
I
That's
don't
what I care
accept.
about.
Sometimes if it depends on the event though. And you do need a crit, like if it's like
yeah,
LG or
so-
something.
Technically,
Yeah.
she's STR, so go 20 crit.
Yeah, so when I awakened mine this most recent Monday, I did try her out in the GT Legendary Goku event, and it is true that once you get towards the end, if she doesn't crit, then unfortunately she doesn't really do a lot of damage. But I would agree that her EZA is pretty damn good. Like, the major issue that she had was the damage reduction being random, because there's a couple of units that can heal on super attack, and some of them are super outdated now, and there's no point bringing a unit onto a team for a tough event that can heal you back a fairly decent amount of HP, but then when they get hit, they just get absolutely destroyed. Like, it's not worth the trade-off, and that was always the biggest problem with running her, was that when her damage reduction did activate, it was great because she could tank reasonably well, and then she would heal you for way more than she was taking. But obviously when it didn't go off, that trade-off was not necessarily the best, and the damage reduction guaranteed is the thing that you don't get until the very final step of the EZA, because I think it's the second step gives you the super attack upgrade, which is the greatly raises attack. As Goresh said, that makes a huge difference. Like, the amount of damage that she can do, especially if she double supers. I think I've seen, without a crit, she can heal easily 150,000 HP from one super attack, which is
especially on her active skill turn.
I got a question for you, buddy.
Very easy to get that. Very, very easy.
Tell me when it's time. All right, got this new Super Battle Road stage. I got a no item. Oh, I'm able to use B-Pan. How does that feel?
Yeah, exactly. Guaranteed damage reduction, can stun, can heal. Turn 3 can make everybody else on the rotation hit much harder.
Early supers.
Yes, pretty ridiculous. I tried her out on the GT Heroes team, and I used her active skill on the rotation of using the 2 EZA Super Saiyan 4s, so you can probably imagine how that went.
You think that's a good rotation, huh?
That was it was a fair bit of damage on that turn, I would say.
Do you think she'd work well with the
balance.
GT Goku? What do you think?
With who, sorry?
The Dokkan Fest GT Goku, Rainbow Orb Changer, 8 million turn 1 without her? Well, I wonder what he does with her.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing. A lot of people always like to use her for her active skill, but then you had to weigh up that, is it worth bringing her on the team when she could potentially get you killed due to that RNG, and obviously the EZA takes that out of the picture. So I do agree, especially for us and anyone out there that cares about them, no item runs, any stage that you could bring her on, she was super useful, as long as you didn't get unlucky with the damage reduction RNG, and so obviously that is not an issue anymore. So I think she's pretty good. I'm very shocked. The free to play master over here.
I'm just
this.
saying the EZA is, if I was beginning the game and I had to spend tens of millions of Zenny, I would rather go for Ella Frieza's EZA over B-Pans, right? To get the units to do her EZA area. That's just all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's a bad card. I'm just saying, is it worth? That's it.
Well, there you go.
Player,
I guess.
if you've had a long time account, which a lot of people do at this point, it's 100% worth.
Yeah, because I suppose with everything that she does, she's definitely going to help you to beat some of the harder events if you do have a newer account. So
You just compare B-Pan to Frieza?
Yes, I did. They're both extreme Z area LRs.
true. All right, well, there you go. That was a lot of exciting stuff going on Global. But, I mean, overall, lots of crazy things going on, lots of hype things on the horizon. Even though Global is a little bit quiet at the moment, it's the calm before the storm with the anniversary right around the corner. And then JP, a lot of hype with leaks, little bits of information coming out, but Tanabata is usually an exciting time as well. So we are going to go ahead and end the first part here, move into the break, and we will come back with some questions afterwards. So stay tuned, get a drink, go to the bathroom if you need to, and we will be right back. Yo, everybody, welcome back. Break is over. We are here for the final part of the podcast where we go through the questions from you guys. Every week we put out a tweet. We also have a section in the 5-9 Discord as well. So make sure if you haven't joined that already, check that out. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. Of course, the Twitch channel and the YouTube channel. Stay tuned to all of those for every update as it comes. So moving into the questions, we are going to start off with the first one here from the Tuga Saiyan, which is, what do you guys think would be a great option for a next World Tournament LR? I'm still waiting on an LR Roshi, Goku and Krillin to lead the World Tournament category.
I think that's probably what a lot of people are expecting, you know, a new LR Roshi, Goku, and Krillin. The only thing I'm thinking about, like, with that question is, we know how Videl was left off the World Tournament category, so if it's, like, based off them carrying the milks, like, around the island and stuff, it's possible that, you know, Akatsuki does Akatsuki and leave him off that World Tournament category.
Ma Junior.
Jay, any ideas?
No, I don't know. That's the only thing that's in my Ella, Goku, and Krillin Roshi.
Bacterian.
Because we've had, what,
Yeah,
Piccolo, TN, Yamcha, and then Demon King Piccolo. So, mix it up a little bit. Truth, any thoughts?
I really do think Roshi, Goku, and Krillin is very likely because the LR election, they've cleared out almost everything on there, right? So, like, this is where they would pop that unit, I think. So I do like the idea of that. That could be great for, you know, the Turtle School category, Dragon Ball Saga. At the bare minimum, buffing those two teams, I'm fine with. The only thing I really like, okay, the main problem I find with the game right now is that a lot of these teams become unrunnable because the leader is just too old and shitty. They gotta stop with 130% or less leads and stuff, right? Like, if this is gonna be the free-to-play unit, I need them to be Turtle School at least like 4-key 150% or Dragon Ball Saga 4-key 150%. I don't give a shit. It's a free-to-play unit. Like, we need like leader options multiple for every category, right? Like, I'm being driven crazy that the Goku and Piccolo gives 130% to saviors. Like, they're not OP if you give them 150%. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, all right, let us move on to the second question here. This is from Joe Wags, and he asks, which do you think is most likely? Global gets the same name update at the beginning of the 6th anniversary, at the end of the anniversary, or sometime later?
And
I
because that
think
would
the
line up
end-
with JP, right?
I think, like, the end or, like, a week or two after at most.
So was it when did it actually specifically get added on JP? Was it at the
It was
very
okay.
end?
So you
or-
know how they.
I don't. It was after. It was a
Well,
little
no,
after
no, no.
Transit
You
Dokkan,
know,
right?
wait. They do that thing where it's like the last day that the banners are out. They like, oh, special thank you, like stones and stuff. It was with that. That's what it was. So it would be like August 2nd or some shit for global.
So
It's so
pretty much
stupid though, because the main reason why people want, or I'd say a lot of people want the same update for global is for two reasons. One, it makes the Trunks and Goku team way better, right? And then number two is it lets you use all the UI Omen Gokus together, right? Every single UI Omen Goku in the game is about to be really good. LR, we have the STR LR one. We're about to get the EZA for the INT one, and we're about to get the free-to-play physical one with the EZA. You can't run them on the same team without the update, so there you go.
Yeah, the same name update should have just came to global when the last update came, for sure.
I'm thinking they're
100%.
maybe worried that the God event will become a little too easy for what they want, but I think it should just come out anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
UI
I guess
Gokus are going to make that way easier, yeah.
They can get rid of Tech
Double
Khalifa
Tech
out of the game
Khalifa,
first.
huh?
How about, get rid of her, then we'll talk.
Yeah, it's an interesting split because obviously keeping it at the end makes it the same as JP, but like Goresh was pointing out, like that was one of the big things that came up during the anniversary on JP when we didn't know that the same name update was about to come out. The fact that there is a lot of same name units getting buffed or released or awakened or along those lines during the anniversary. So I guess it's a bit more of a weird situation for Global because it's something that we know is coming, whereas obviously on JP during the anniversary, we really had no idea. So I feel like Truth was saying, it should have come out before. If it didn't come out before, I feel like they're probably going to stick to the same sort of schedule because normally the anniversaries are like beat for beat exactly the same, aren't they? So it seems like it's probably going to be left until the very end. So moving on to question number 3. This one comes from Dokkan. And his question is, should we summon on the first banner that comes out with Tanabata or wait until the banner that has way more units but also the 6th anniversary units on it?
I think it depends on what you need, really.
No, I think you're playing a dangerous game jumping into that banner with 500 units. I think we know they've done this same pattern. This is not going to be the 4th year in a row. So you should know going in, right? Like if you want to try and get the new hype unit, which should be a fusing Gogeta, you summon on his banner, and then for the Tanabata banner, that should be where you're just targeting, UI Goku or Vegeta with red coins. But jumping into that banner is like you're playing a dangerous game, dude, because it's gonna have 20 featured units or something?
It's the lottery.
It's gonna be rough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a banner where, like, literally, that's like the only time I would even say is like fine to just throw a single or two on there, because you're literally like it's a lottery no matter what you do. So whatever.
Yeah, because with so many featured units, if it's the Gogeta that you want, then obviously his banner is going to be much more valuable with the less featured units. It's the first return of the anniversary LRs, isn't it, for JP?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess, like we say, it may be worth a couple of singles, maybe a couple of multis if you want the extra copies of them. But like Truth said, the big advantage is, of course,
I'm going to
it will be
need y'all
appearing
to
in the
stop
coin shop.
throwing the word singles out first off.
Yes,
Okay?
I know.
Yeah, that's no more. Garash, you're in the naughty zone for even
Well, Truth, have you
implying they
ever-
should do singles.
Truth, have you single summoned an LR before?
No! Hell no, I haven't. Because I don't do
I haven't.
singles.
I'm just saying that you have this basic, like your chances of pulling them off of a single as opposed to a multi is not that much different. That's how big of a lottery it is.
If you do singles, I'm coming through your screen to slap you. All right?
If you're not looking for a specific unit, like you could use every single unit on that banner, because a lot of them are probably going to be like units that have easy 8 at this point and are really good. So if you need a lot of them, then maybe I would say, but it's probably just in your best interest to summon on the first banner that comes out.
Yeah, so there you go. So good banners like that with a lot of featured units, tricky for summoning, but always useful for when it comes to coins, because all of those units, apart from the Gogeta, of course, will be available in the coin shop. So probably much more worth summoning on the first banner, and then the second one, if you want to try a multi or two. We won't say the dirty single word, but try a multi or two, or then just pick up some with red coins. So moving on to the 4th and final question for this episode, which comes to us from Maverick. He says, I'd love to see a series where you guys talk about the same unit at 55% level 10 links versus 100% level 1 links. I feel like that would be an interesting series to compare which one's better. So the reason I picked out this question was I was just kind of interested in the comparison between those two. I don't know if you guys have ever really explored this yourself, because I know, Truth, you wait until a few of your links are leveled up before you do the rainbow showcases. So have you guys got much direct experience with the difference between like a 55% unit at level 10 links and then a rainbow unit with level 1 links?
Well, it's kind of weird to do that, because if you get the unit at 55% and then all the way up to level 10 links, you can't just rainbow them and have them at level 1 links. So it's hard for like you yourself as a person to make a really comparison for that in a sense. I think it could be interesting, but definitely in my opinion, the 100% level 1 would probably be better just because of the stats.
I'm not sure.
Rainbow's better.
The thing
stats make way too big of a difference.
Yeah.
Plus potential system.
a lot of these links too, right? Like at level 1, most of them are just what they were prior to the link level update, right? Like they did alter a few, but for the most part, it's just what links were before. A lot of the buffs and shit like that, they don't start coming in until link level 2, right? Or like some like toughness warrior, right? You're not getting your damage reduction until like level 6. So
Some, like, you get an extra key at level 10, like Sane Lineage.
yep. Dismal Future, shit like that. Majin. Yep.
Because yeah, I was just thought it'd be kind of interesting to see just how big the divide is, because obviously that is a pretty extreme example in the question. But the only experience I really have with this kind of situation is when I got my STR Cooler to level 10 links. I only had him at 79%, and he was putting up higher attack stats than a Rainbow Cooler friend that only had level 1 links. So those level 10 links were doing more work than the extra 2 dupes. But obviously that's not quite the same as 55%. So be interesting to see what the actual difference is. But obviously that is a pretty extreme. The example is opposite ends of the spectrum. And like you said, Minato, you're probably, once you pull the unit, I know most people, you're probably just going to start link leveling them straight away. So then if you do pull more copies, you're less likely to end up with a Rainbow unit at level 1 links. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the overall difference is. But yeah, it's kind of a hard example to pick up on. So, but yeah, I guess there we go. That is the final question. So that is going to wrap up this week's episode. I want to say thank you to all of our guests for taking part on this week. Hopefully we managed to fill in reasonably well for Toon. I believe he will be back next week to continue with the regularly scheduled programming. So make sure you guys give the channel a follow or subscribe. Check out the YouTube, our Twitter, Reddit, all that good stuff to stay updated with everything going on in the 5-9 sphere. And so for myself, Truth, Goresh, Minato, and Jay Fanta, we will see you all again soon.